Hey guys, Bori here. How's it going? Today we're going over the upcoming info for the maintenance tomorrow. We're going over the units and the equipment that's coming in Barrick's event and giving my thoughts and opinions on them. So yeah, Barrick is the first Blood Knight we are getting, and he comes tomorrow. He's a fire mage. He does magic damage, which is pretty awesome. Magic damage dealers are always amazing. A lot of people say they don't like the way he looks, but in my opinion, he's my favorite of the Blood Knights, aesthetic wise, because of I don't know. I like skinny demons. You know, like how I'm like a lot of shows and like games and stuff. Demons are always bulky and huge. I don't like bulky, huge men. I like skinny men. All right, so I like my skinny demon Barrack. But I actually like his sprite and the way his character design is. Plus, his animations are pretty dope. So yeah, we'll jump right into his kit. He has a one thing to note is all the Blood Knights have a Magi Drive, and the first time they use their True Art, it activates their Magic Drive, and this Magic Drive has a duration, and you can reapply it when the duration runs out. But each of them come with an effect with the Magic Drive. So when the effect runs out, you do it. It's not like every time you activate your True Art, you get the effect. The effect's always up, and then when you reactivate and reapply it, it'll come back up. So for Barrick, his skill, he does 2200 fire attribute magic damage, and he has a low burn chance with break power 1000. Cool, low burn, better than nothing than just damage on skill, right? Just typical skill. His art is when he starts getting really good. 14400 fire magic damage, mystery gauge of all allies, 25 up. Furthermore, if the allies are fire attribute, for 10 seconds, the mystery gauge rises by 2. So you get a passive art gen, or an art gen basically like a weak fen pretty much on an art. Plus he gives the up. So he does 25 instantly, and then he'll give you 20 more over 10 seconds. So it's 55 art on an art. That's pretty awesome. So he'll be able to compete with some of the other art gens. You can probably solo art gen with your team if you have their support slot and things like that. A lot of people like to run 2 barracks just so they can vitalize his art with a True Art. So his True Art, for 180 seconds, he becomes Magic Drive state. Again, you have to activate his True Art once for this to take effect, and then you can activate your True Art again and deal damage. When used in the Magic Drive state, he does 37,000 damage, fire magic, and 50% damage buff to all allies for 15 seconds. And furthermore, fire units get another 50% with a break power of 4,000. So he gives 100% damage up to fire units and 50% normal team. It makes him okay running in a mixed team, but generally you're going to run him in a fire nuke comp or a fire team, and you're going to be using it so you can get that 100%. So a common strat with him is to either run 2 of him and a double Milim, or a Milim and Benny Morrow, because of the huge damage output they can do, or an Ifrit even. But since the Slime Claps come out, Benny and Milim are pretty much the best fire nukers with him. And another strat is to run him plus a Talus plus double Milim, and you can stack those damage buffs, and then Milim reflect damage because it'll scale off of them. I'll be able to pretty much kill everything whenever a boss's arts, which is pretty awesome. So all in all, he's amazing. He's a great kit. He has a lot of uses with his True Art and art. You can interchange it. You can run double of them. You can fill multiple roles in your team. As for his passives, he's level 90 passives. He gives water resistance tolerance 25% up, and damage to tree enemies 25% up. That also stacks with his attribute advantage, so it ends up being 50% damage up, which is pretty nice. And then his level 70 passive is the Magic Drive, of course. When he activates his True Art, for the first time when he activates Magic Drive, he'll get 200 art instantly. His crit rate's 100% up, and when he's in Magic Drive state, he gets 3 art. So if he's using his art after he uses his True Art, he gets natural 5 art rising, which is pretty awesome. So he can be a really good art gen for your team, and I think he can compete with Sony and some of the other ones, just as an art gen unit. So it's pretty awesome. As for his slots, he has 2 5-star magic and a 4-star support. Freaking awesome. 1, he can utilize his event equips, and 2, he can double stack Alma hats. He can run one of his event equips or his true weapon and an Alma hat to get those extra magic damage and resist down effects. And we'll go over his event equips here in a little bit. But all in all, his slots are pretty good. But since he doesn't have a 5-star support, he can't just solo support himself. So you want to run somebody else on the team, maybe with a support slot, or so you can get the ball rolling, you know. All right. Next we have Weaver. I'm never going to call him Weaver ever again outside of this video. To me, he is Wilbur. All right. I don't give a shit. I like his name Wilbur better than Weaver. So he's basically a new Roy, is how everybody calls him, because he looks just like Roy. This is the prize from this banner for me, in my opinion. He's part of the Dream Team combo I want. Spin to win all the way. He's like a fucking Beyblade. Pretty awesome. His sprite looks dope. So, yeah, we'll just jump right into him. His skill is water attribute fizz damage, 1800. His own HP, 120 up. And he gets mystery gauge 8 on a 7-second CT, 8 mystery, and 120 HP. Really good. Really helps him out, keeping his abilities active all the time. It's pretty awesome. Again, not just a basic skill, it's shit, and actually does something, which is really nice. His art, which is pretty much his bread and butter. This is what you're going to be using pretty much all the time. He does the flying long Beyblade. It actually says Beyblade. Holy shit. That's great. All right, 13,500 mystery, 13,500 water attribute fizz damage, and the mystery gauge of all allies is 20 up. And for 20 seconds, the total damage of all ally is total to 2,000 invalid. What that means is he gives every ally a 2,000 damage shield, and he does break force of 2,000. This does not overlap with other things, so you cannot run like Valentia and stack a shield with him, things like that. But you're pretty much going to be using this all the time. It allows you to tank pretty much everything in the game. Like, only a few bosses do over 2,000 damage at one point, you know, and if they do, you can mitigate it with other things. Like, you can run True Roz to get more, or you can run just, you know, normal midi defenses, which is pretty awesome. As is for his true art, water attribute fizz damage, 3,100. Bleeding Blade, for 13 seconds, the enemy's water attribute resistance is 30% down. Crit damage of all allies, 50% up. And break force, 5,500. Damage tolerance does not stack, just to let you know. Just does not stack at all. It doesn't matter who it's with. But it's nice if you want to try to do like water nukes, or if you're trying to farm crest dungeons with him to try to get him geared up. But again, you're pretty much never going to use this unless you really want like the crit damage for whatever reason. I don't know why. But he will be using his art mainly, and to get you that damage and validation, which is pretty awesome. So, his passives. He has, for level 90, he gives a BE appearance amount for water attributes 15% up. Again, BE appearance is, it affects the percent value for a BE orb to appear. So when I think it's like 667% damage you have to deal for one BE orb to spawn. And a BE orb gives 10 art. So this allows you to bring down that percent to deal damage. So it allows faster equips or more damaging equips to give more BE quicker, which is pretty awesome. And this affects the team as a whole. Then he has level 80. He gives 20% crit rate. So something for him. I would probably maybe go with a crit rate crest to him to give him that 5% crit rate. And if you run crit food, you can basically get him to 100%. And then it might be making it worth using his true art to get that crit damage up. And then as for his supports, which makes him really, really good, he has a 5-star fizz attack, 5-star support, and a 4-star support. So he has amazing slots. He literally has fence slots. So it's great. Later on, there'll be some more team support items that are non-limited from collabs. Like right now, the best ones are, of course, Goku Uni that you can no longer get, and Milim Dress. Those will, of course, be the best in slot you want to pair with him. You can run LDH, but again, he's really good when you can run paired with group art gen support items on him. So all in all, he's an amazing unit. He's what I'm going to be aiming for, especially since we're getting 100 free gems. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. So yeah, next up is Barrick's True Weapon. This has a 50-second CT time, which all in all isn't bad when it's max limit broken. And again, these equips are considered max limit broken and max enhanced. So its skill is 7,200 fire attribute magic damage for 10 seconds. The enemy's flame attribute resistance is 50% down. Break power 1200. Again, resistance down translates to a percent damage increase, and it affects the same way, so it's multiplicative. So it's a 50% damage buff, which is really awesome. All in all, his fake true weapon is just as good, which is his event item. It's pretty good too. Barrick doesn't really require his true weapon. As for the true weapon's passives, he gives 30% all stats to himself and 30% damage up. So he gets 30% attack plus 30% damage, which is pretty awesome. And it translates to like, I don't know, like 43% damage up with the attack buff. And then the other one is he gives more tree attribute damage, 20% up. So again, this stacks with his passive and his already attribute advantage to give him a decent amount versus trees, which allows him to do crazy damage versus like plant boss and the grass type enemies, which is pretty awesome. But again, he does not need his drill equip. You don't have to worry about, oh man, if I pull this unit, do I need his drill equip? Nah, he doesn't need it. Alright, on to his event item. This is a 5-star magic 2. It is also a 50-second CT. It's passive. It gives 10% tree damage up. So again, stacks with his passive and stuff. As for its skill, it's just a weaker version. 6,000 fire attribute magic damage, 10 seconds enemy flame resistance, 30% down. So really, yes, his true weapon gives a lot of damage buff to him and stuff like that, but his fake is just as fine from the event, and it's free, especially for free-to-play players. You could also run like things like Fireblade on him, from Marzek's event for a better resist down buff and things like that. Or you can just buff his art damage if you want. There's plenty of buff equips out there. So yeah, pretty good equip, all in all. As for the 4-star support item that comes in his event, it is a 15-second CT item, and it gives skill CT 10% up as a passive, and then its skill is 10 art up for the entire team. So every 15 seconds, your team gets 10 art. This is really good for a 4-star support. It's the best 4-star support in the game currently, and for the foreseeable future. Since we are getting these just right after JP got them, JP doesn't have a better 4-star support yet either. So God knows whenever this will be power crept or something. This excludes Cant, of course, because you still want to run Cant because of the break power buff, and it's just passive 1-up art gen. But you definitely want to max a bunch of these. You want at least three of them, I would say. 3 max limit broken. And again, it's not really that hard. So yeah, that was the event equips. He only has 2, and this is his event banner. The thing to note is his event will have a limited EX. So you will have 1 try to go on this limited EX a day. You can run this in a multiplayer, and it is really easy to beat. You can do it with 4 luck units. His specs is a wee harder. I don't know if you can do it with 4 luck units yet. We're going to have to test some stuff out. But if you trade with 4 people a day, like you and 3 other people, and you guys trade limited EX runs with 4 luck units, you don't have to worry about farming the event. If you do that every day, you'll have enough stuff to farm the event. If you need enhanced mats on JP, EX2, you ran that with luck units, you could get a shit ton of enhanced mats because Specs doesn't like to drop enhanced mats at all, really. So yeah, all this stuff is coming out tomorrow, guys, like midnight pretty much, so I guess Thursday. So yeah, happy hunting, guys, and I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Have a great day.